recording it. Okay, so that thing crashed. It wouldn't open up again, which is crazy. But we'll do this. So here's a box, a poly bevel. Um, yeah, and I might as well show you how this works. All right, so if you have your box and it's beveled, and remember how I was like pulling these points out before, what we can do is this too. I can go to poly modeling. All right. Now, if I hold down the letter C, I get this menu. So if I go to edge loop, click on edge loop, then I can have an edge loop just like the knife tool in mine. And I can put this like here, hold down C, do another edge loop, C, let's go edge loop. There's another shortcut for repeat. I'll just look it up later. I don't want to do it now. So we can do this. And then I can press 2, remember? I can press W and I can just grab these points and press E to scale maybe, or scale it in, something like that. So I'm pressing 2, T, and doing all this stuff, right? So I press W just so you can see wall's a little irregular. All right. But when I did that, it gave me these nodes, these poly split nodes. All right. So if I wanted to do something with one of them or delete one of these, I can just delete it. I mean, hide it right now or disable it. So if I look at the last one, those two aren't there. But if I want them to be there, select those, click off. Now they're back. Okay, so that's the box. How did I do this before? Yeah, I had these. So here will be my curbs. Here's my wall. And this wall, it looks like it's shifted over. One of these, I don't know who got moved. I mean, this is a different file, but I'll just right click, type in transform, hook this up, click this. Well, let me get the template so I can see. Actually, we need the whole thing. So I'll just go over here, middle mouse button, click, and move it over. All right. Now, before I had a grid, I think something just moved. I'm not sure, but I'll just move this over, not this. I can just move this wall over. I mean, this grid over. Select it, click on this tool, and I can just move it on over right here. I'll just make it a little bit bigger. And perfect. Now let me go to this mountain. And I guess you can see how I made it just like a little bit bumpy. Here are my settings. I just put it in 0.27. You know, element scale size of 1. And it gives me this. Okay. So give this. And let me take away this. I want to check this out. If I want to remove one of these, there's a few ways we can do it. We can select like this, press delete, or I can take the node and kind of shake it off and then, put it somewhere else. So, okay, so let me do my thing again. Null. So this will be I'll just type in uppercase out underscore ground, alt, left click, connect, out, outside walk, control click. And this is out wall. All right. Now, since we have all our geometry built and I can see everything, if I right click, merge, click on that, And that connected it when I didn't think it was. That's a weird thing because it says two, so I'll just press Y, disconnect them all, connect again. All right, so this is our setup, all right? Let me do this too. Actually added some lights in, but that'll something that's gonna come later. On Geo, this is it. So let me just put in Street Geo, just to give it a name. All right, so this is what we have. Now we need to put UVs on this wall. So I'll just move this over here. And let me show you how this works. So yeah, this says out wall right here. Let me take off this one. It's not a big deal, but. And so if there's another node with the same name, it's gonna give it that number on the end. That's why I still have it. Okay. Uh, what I'm gonna do, I'll pull this down or pull this away, or I'll just disconnect this. What I'm going to do first is UV the wall. So I'm going to type in right UV unwrap. All right. Now I want to see my UVs. Now the best way to see them is to click on this right here, and I can split my viewport in different ways. I can do 4-way view. I can do 2-way view, top and bottom. But what I want is I want left and right. So I want it to be my style, right? And so I still like it to be my style. So I like my UV over here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna press spacebar and 5, or I can go to UV view, set view, and go to UV view. And I want this to be my perspective. So I can do spacebar 1, or I could just click right here and go to perspective. So yeah, this is more like it. I'm feeling good. All right. Um, so to see our UV, we can right click and type in UV quick shade. So I'll connect this to this and select it here. So we see our UVs and they're all messed up. It's looking horrible, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'll just slide this into here, and this says UV unwrap, and I click on it, right? And we have the layout is of a square. We take it to strip, it does this, but we want it to be square. So basically when it came in, it looks all right. Whoa, what is that? Oh, this is actually a material I put on because I already taken it through the whole process. So I will delete that. Okay, so if I type on this, so this is like to see our UVs, like to see that shading. If I disable it, it still kind of shows it. It just doesn't show it here. No, I guess, yeah, it doesn't show it. It disables it. And so this is our UV unwrap. And if I click right here, it goes away. All right. And then there's also, so I can remember layout. Yeah, so that's our UV unwrap. All right, so these UVs are laid out pretty nicely. Now, if I want to lay them out even nicer, I go to UV layout, right? Now I'm gonna put this UV layout node after the UV unwrap. And so this will lay them out on the grid the way I like. So we want to do UDIMs, right? So you want to take it into substance and paint them and have the good, nice resolution. So I'm going to type in, on scale, fixed. We see the way it changed. And then we go into pack. It says rectangles. Let's go UDIM tiles. Now, if I go over here to this fixed and I scale this up, it starts to get bigger, right? Now, here's how you work this. It's automatically on 1. If I go lower, it goes, makes everything small. So I want these tiles to be as big as possible. Now, if you start scaling this up, or you go into the fine scaling and it goes into another UV tile, that's fine, right? Because these are just the sides. These will be the same resolution as the front. So they'll all be the same resolution, but you want them to be the biggest resolution as possible. So I can take these, scale them up. Now, if they ever go on the bottom, that means that your UVs are scaled up way too large. But if I scale it like this, and I make these two faces as big as they can possibly be, then they're still cool, right? It's just that once you start going too much over, that's still cool. But if I go larger, then they start going into this space. That means that the tiles cannot remain uniform and be this scale. So let's take it down to this. So this is perfect, right? And you see the high resolution we have. We even have the back too, and it's okay because yeah, we're using UDIM tiles. So usually I wouldn't care about the back so much, but this one, yeah, I'll keep it in, and it'll just get some texture. All right, so now let's do the sidewalk, right? It's the same kind of process. Actually, let's see how I did it before. Edit, unwrap, layout. Okay, so with the sidewalk, oh, and check this out. This is the end of the wall, UV. Let's just shake it out and then put it right here, all right? So that these are on this. And if you want some extra control or not control, organization, we could also like select them all, press the letter C, and then we have a color. So I could say, all right, this is my wall, and I can make it like this. Or I could also like take these and put them in a folder. I mean, not a folder. What's the right word for this? Network box, and I can type in, wall geo or something like that. So just so you know that's there. All right, so let's go to this one. I'm gonna go to right click, UV unwrap. I'll slide this in here. Left click, let's look at this. So I'm not seeing the checkers or anything. That's because my UV quick shade, just like I had over here, it's on this right now. I can go and switch it to this. So now I'm looking at this. Now you see that? Those UVs look pretty good to me. So I can do the same thing. Type in a UV layout, right click, UV layout. And put this into here. All right. Now I'll put this here. So now we're seeing our geometry. And we see the tiles, everything's looking kind of crazy. Oh, this flag is on that's making things look even more crazy. Okay. So now these things are like, they're not, they're rotated, right? So if I wanted to, I could go in and double click on this shell right here and press like R to rotate, and I can go in and like rotate this, press T and T and move this around, and I can do all that stuff and try to make it big or small. I can do all that stuff, but nah, I'm not going to do that. There's an easier way, and that is See, it added an extra node. Let's go back here. Oh no, wait, let's go to this. Our quick shade. Here's our layout. If we go here and we type in by island position UD, 3D, in 3D, it orientates them the right way. So that's what we want for that. And then if we do the same thing, go to scale, and let's go to fixed, pack into UDIM tiles. And if we take this number right here and we scale it up, look at what's happening, right? So it's moving these across those UV tiles, and it's maximizing that space, right? So it's taking these, and look, the more I do it, the more it spreads them across the tiles, giving them better resolution. So now almost every tile, UV tile, has this as its maximum resolution. Well, it has one side, right? Let's just take it to the max, right? Look, that means it's too big. Yeah, and see what it did? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's how it works. It goes 10, and then it goes to a new level. So it goes 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, and it fills up that whole thing to 100. So right now it did like what, 12? Yeah, 10, 11, 12. So that's some good resolution, right? So that's cool. So we have that sidewalk. I can delete this one. So we see there's our UV quick shade for the sidewalk. And here's for our wall. So we got some good resolution. Now all we have to do is do the grid now. What did I do for the grid? Just a UV unwrap. So let me type in UV unwrap. Select this. And look right here. You see what we have? Let's take this UV quick shade, move it over here, and test it out. We have this. And I can select it, go to the spacing. This just means if there's more than one object, how much space is in between them. But I'll just take this to like here. All right, just to fill up the UV space. So that looks cool to me. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to shake this off. Go over here, and I'll add this in. So we have our merge, and it's showing all of our UV tiles. And you see we have some of them overlapping, which is totally fine. And I'll click like this. So yeah, so we see the tiles, but we still have some of them overlapping, right? And what do I mean by that? If I click right here, we see these are on this tile, these on this tile, so those are overlapping. And our grid is on that one. So they got to move, right? So let's go to this one right here, which is our wall. And let's right click and let's type in UV transform. Let's slide this in right here. Now I can either move them up, but you see what's happening, right? This number moves. So instead of like moving them up like that and place them where we need to go, which is totally fine, I could do that. Let's just be more professional about it. And let's just say I want to move it up 3, all right? So now it's up there. Let's just do 4, just because, right? So 4. So remember, that's the main UV tile. I just moved it up 4. So now I'm going to do this. I'm just going to alt click, or I can do UV transform. I'll just do it. UV transform, enter. I'll put this one here. Now I'll move this one up 3. Actually, let me move it up 2, right? Because it has that extra, those 12 tiles. So I just moved it up 2. So now this is not affecting that one. Now I can also just alt left click this right here and move this one over. And if we look right here, because this one is on 2, this one's on 2. Somebody put in 1 or 0, but it's right there. You know, I'll just put in 0 just because. And there we go. All right. So we have everything UV. Those UVs are looking beautiful. Everything's packed in. And we have our UDIMs. Actually, just to make it even more cleaner, I'm just going to take this, put this at 1, and then I'll put this one at 3. All right. It doesn't matter. I'm just, it worked for me before, so I'm just sticking with what works. I'll experiment on my own time. All right. So, yeah, this is what we have. This is our geometry that we're seeing. And this is just showing us with the UV quick shade that we have. And then we have these streams right here, as you see. And the last thing I'm gonna do, just to keep things even more organized, is I'm just gonna put them all in a group. So I'm gonna press right click in group. All right. I'm gonna take this, put this right here. Now I'm gonna click off of this. I'm gonna go right here and I'm just gonna type in wall underscore GRP. All right. So this is my wall group. Left click. This is my sidewalk group. And this is my ground group. All right. So I have everything here. Here's this UV quick shade so I can see my UVs. But I'm going to, once again, alt left click, copy this. And I'm just going to attach this to the end. And I'm going to write out out street. Out street geometry. All right. So you see, even though I have all this in the end, it's just kind of out to the, it's to the side. I'm not really worried about it. What I'm worried about is this. And this is what we're going to see, this out street geometry. All right. So now to get it out of Houdini, this is what we're going to do. So it's called Street Geo 1. This is what we have. And let me know if you all can do this because, I have a different version of Houdini than you all have, but you all should be able to do this. Go to File and then go to Export and go to Filmbox, FBX. Go here. I'm unchecking this. And if you click right here, this is, shows you where you're going to put it. So it's desktop. I'm going to put in wall to wall Houdini to stub. That's just what I'm naming mine. You can name yours whatever. And then export, I'm going to click on this. And I'm going to go to Street Geo 1 because that's what this is, right? So remember, it's in the object world, Street Geo 1. This is what I want, accept the pattern. And I'm clicking export. Right? So now, let me open up Substance. Now I'm in Substance Painter, and I go File, New, Select, Wall to Houdini Sub. Comes in, it says use UV tile workflow because it knows what's up because it knows about those tiles. And if we look at it here, we got ourselves some perfect UVs up in Substance, right? Now, what's different is that if I go to my texture set list, we don't have all those materials, which is fine because there's a cool way to paint these without having to do it the other way I was doing it. And I'll tell you all about that.